Well, hello everyone. This is gonna be my first video for Killing Floor, in which I'm gonna try to test all the new weapons that just came out in the new Community Weapons DLC pack. I'm gonna try to make a little more in-depth analysis to each weapon and its advantages and disadvantages in comparison to those that are free. So, first of all, I want to make clear that if you guys notice, I might have a funny accent. That's because I don't speak English as a first language. So, if you guys don't understand something that I said, please let me know about it. I'll try to speak as clearly as I can, and it also serves as practice for me. So, yeah, let's start. So, I'm gonna start with the Thompson. I have no idea why. Well, it is a commando weapon that I really like a lot, and I'm gonna try to speak about the different aspects of all weapons, that is cost, weight, and some other like gameplay differences on each of them. I'll talk more about that later. So, first of all, you can see that we have the Tommy gun here, and you can instantly notice that it's quite cheap. It's 269 squid, which is much less than the regular AK-47. Well, it's not much less, but it's still cheaper than the AK-47. And that is that is a problem, because the Tommy gun is more powerful than the M4. I think it's like an in between the M4 and the AK-47. So you do have like a bigger damage output advantage in comparison to the other free weapons. Also, you can notice that it weighs 5 blocks, and the only other commando weapon that weights that is the Scar. And Scar is much more expensive, but that gives room so that you might want to buy some new weapons, so you can get, I don't know, like a Thompson, a Scar, and you can get, say, an M79 or a dual hand cannons, which gives a slight advantage over others that cannot buy a bigger weapon like that, in case you ran out of, well, not ran out of ammo, but empty your clips and you need to make a quick escape or something like that. So those 2 points are negatives for me. I don't think that this weapon, if it should be paid for, should weight less or be more or be cheaper than the other weapons. So let's test them. I'm gonna get a Tommy gun, and I'm gonna try to test them with some of the other weapons that are for the commando. So let's try the MKB, which is the supposed side grade for the Tommy gun. And you guys know that the commando is a perk that you take if you want to do some crowd control. So let's try to do some clots here. The first thing you can see is that the iron sights for the Tommy gun are quite nice, are quite user friendly, and it's quite easy to land some headshots on those clots. So yeah, let's try a little more range. So you can see that, well, it's not that hard to actually see the point where you have to shoot, and that makes it a little easier for you to land some headshots. Also, the second most important thing that you can, the second most important thing you can see is that it has such a low recoil. And the fact that it has such a low recoil allows you to quickly aim again to where you should, in case you miss. So it's not that you're gonna have a bad time trying to shoot from afar, and that's quite good. But in the case of a paid weapon, that might not be that good. So now let's try the MKB, and let's draw some conclusions. You can see that the aim point for the MKB is a little more pointy, so it's not that easy to see where you're gonna shoot, but doesn't mean that it's harder to shoot them in the head. Just that you might have a little harder time trying to shoot from afar, or you might not see it in darker environments or some like situational environments. For example, I don't know, but it might be just me, but it's harder to see the point here in this map than the Thompson. I think that the little space in between the you can see that the little square that holds up the little aim point is a little bigger, so you can see where you're shooting at like easier. While the MKB is a little closed up, so it's not that easy to see it. It might be just a little thing, but that's my opinion. So you can see that the recoil in the MKB is much bigger than the Thompson's. The Thompson, the screen barely moves up if you shoot the Thompson, while the MKB does. So that's one big issue in my opinion. Well, low recoil means that, well, as I've said before, it's not gonna make it harder on yourself to try to kill some Zeds from afar. And the interesting thing is that recoil is even lesser than that of the ball pops, and even then the ball pop is so weak that it's not worth it. I mean, you need 2 headshots and clots to kill them in Hell on Earth, while a Tommy gun can decapitate them in the first shot. So yeah, the ball pop moves up on each shot, while the Tommy gun doesn't as much. If you want some reference, try checking out on this side. You can move up a little. Tommy gun has more recoil in each shot, but it doesn't move the screen up so much. So yeah. I'm not gonna try to take too much on this weapon because, well, there are so many commando weapons. So I'm just gonna mention that the Scar and the ACOG and the FAL, they both have some nice scoping, but for some odd reason, I really think the point on the Scar makes it much more difficult to shoot, to land some headshots from afar. And the ACOG doesn't help itself much either because its scope, it's kind of weird because it's a cross rather than a point. So getting headshots from afar, in my single opinion, is kind of harder. So I'm gonna make a small conclusion here and say that the Tommy gun isn't really a side grade to any of these weapons because it weighs less, it costs less, and it's much more accurate than the others. It might be not as powerful, but it is more accurate. So that leaves for that might make you want to use it more than you might use the other ones. So if you guys want to test more, if you guys want me to try something else on the weapons, please let me know, and I might treat that later. So now I'm gonna change perks. I'm gonna go Firebug because I don't really have to change perks to deal with all the weapons. So the new weapon for the Firebug is the Flare Revolver. Well, the weapon that you have to pay for. The other weapons are the Trench Gun, the other new weapon. And I tested this weapon before I started recording this video, and I gotta say, this has some major flaws. First of all, here in the trailer, you can see that the Flare Revolver is awfully cheap. It's as cheap as a Mac 10. Also, it's much more lighter. It's 2 blocks, while the Mac 10 is 4. So that already leaves like some space for saying no, that gives a lot of room to buy more weapons if you guys buy a Flare Revolver and a flamethrower or something like that. And now that I mention it, you can buy a Flare Revolver or dual Flare Revolvers with a flamethrower. And that's a problem if you think that you cannot buy a trench gun and a flamethrower because that weighs too much. So now let's try the weapon. The Flare Revolver, I'm going to buy a trench gun for later. The Flare Revolver, first of all, has a nice little color effect when you shoot. So I'm not gonna talk about it. The big problem with the Flare Revolver is that it enhances a part of the Firebug that would otherwise be difficult to do, and that is killing husks. Husks are known for having a resistance to fire. Just as you have for being a firebug, you are immune to his fireballs, but you cannot kill husks that easier. Or you didn't, or you didn't until now. Sorry for me trying to process the words I'm supposed to say in English. Sorry. So let me show you what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the husks. The husks. You do know that all these weapons can register headshots. So what if I try landing some headshots on this husk? Well, that wasn't a headshot. That was a headshot. That wasn't a headshot. And that's a headshot. As a like a raw estimate, you can say I took about 2 headshots to kill him, and 2 headshots is quite low. Let me try to do it more precisely. That wasn't a headshot. He puts his arm, so it's not that easy. Well, you can see something right there. I shot him 3 times in the body because no headshots were registered, and he died from 3 shots on the body. That is quite an advantage because you can spend like a full flamethrower clip trying to kill a husk, and he's not gonna die because he has such a high resistance to fire. But with 3 single body shots on him, he dies. I don't really know if that's like a glitch, if he's registering fire damage from the flare gun as full, or if he does have some resistance for it. But that's quite an advantage. That gives an advantage to firebugs trying to kill husks. Let me try a little closer to show you guys. So that's a headshot, and that's another headshot. 2 shots to the head, and he's dead. That also means you have a great range for killing husks, since it's not gonna like spread out, and you're gonna be able to kill husks from quite afar. The only problem would be timing the shots correctly, but in this case, for this map, if he's coming straight towards you, it's gonna be a quick and easy kill. Also, because if you miss, you only need like 3 body shots to kill him. So that's quite a big advantage over it. Now let's try the trench gun. The trench gun would be not exactly the side grade, but a good like second option for killing husks. Now that's 1 headshot to the head, and that's another headshot to the head. So yeah, you need just 2 shots to kill him. So you might say that that's not that bad if you have a free weapon that kills husks like that. But first of all, as I mentioned, you cannot have a flamethrower and a trench gun at the same time, and also the trench gun is a shotgun. So trying to kill him from here is gonna be much harder. There goes 3, 4. I missed that. 5, 6. Reload. 7 shots, 1 full clip, and 1 more shot. And he still came quite close. So if you were to use a trench gun, it would be of course much more recommended to wait until he's closer to you, and then you pop his head. But the flare gun offers a quite different alternative. That is a long range shot. Let me try to kill him once more from afar. Please don't shoot me. That's a headshot. Let's try another one. There you go. 2 headshots and he's dead. And look how far he went before he died. I gotta say, that's one hell of a big advantage of the flare revolver over all the other firebug weapons. The other weapon that you might say works for killing husks is the Mag-10, but it has such a great recoil that it's not even worth trying to kill someone from afar. Let's see how long I can take. That's 1 clip. 1 clip and something. Now that might not seem as much, but you don't have as much ammo for the Mag-10 in terms of clips as you do for the flare revolver. You can see that 6 over 33 clips. That's 204 shots over 430. And I just spent 30 shots killing one, while I just spent 2 shots killing him with a flare revolver. As you can see, that gives him a very big advantage over husks. than any other firebug weapon, so definitely not a side grade, because it does change the gameplay from a regular from all the free weapons that you might have. So yeah, I don't agree with the flare gun being a side grade to the other weapons, because it isn't. Okay, I'm now gonna try the Zerg weapons, but for that I have to restart Hell on Earth. So let's go. And I'm gonna first go Zerg. And I'm gonna try the Scythe or Sith. I don't really know how you're supposed to pronounce that. The new weapon, the little death knife that you're supposed to take. And I'm gonna try with the Claymore. The Claymore is supposed to be a side. So I'm gonna try to test both weapons and see if they are really side grades or not. So let's first go with the Claymore. And Zergs are kind of specialized when using this kind of powerful weapons and killing Skrakes. So I'm gonna try to test one on this. So that's 1 hit to the head, 2 hits, 3 hits, 4 hits, 5.
Watch out for me, boys.
So he died with 5 hits from a Claymore on the head. Let's try again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5 hits to kill him. Now let's try the Scythe. I'm gonna pronounce it Scythe. I think it's pronounced like that. I'm not really sure, but yeah. So that's 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 oh, I missed. Let's try again. 1 hit to the head. Damn it. Well, you can already see that the scythe did really get slower than the Claymore on the last update, the one that ended the Hillbilly event. But I can't really jump to a conclusion about damage. Let's try again. 1 hit. Damn it! Is it really hard to hit him on the head? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hits to the head. Now that's the point I wanted to make. You take 5 hits to kill him with the Claymore, and you only need 4 to kill him with the Scythe. And that already brings an advantage to the Scythe over the Claymore. Now, the weapon that all Zergs used to kill Skrakes is the axe. So let's try it with the Scythe. Oh, let's check prices first. The Scythe is, wow, look at that! It's much cheaper than the Claymore, but it's a little cheaper, a little more expensive than the Katana. So it offers an alternative that does more damage, but swings slower than the Claymore. So that's already an advantage over it. Now let's see, the Claymore weighs 6, the Scythe weighs 6, and the axe weighs 5. So, well, the weight is not much of a trouble there. Now let's try the axe over the Scythe on a Skrake. The axe takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. You can already see the Scythe takes much less time to kill. Well, not exactly time, but hits. Trying to kill the Skrake, but the axe swings faster, so that's the reason everyone uses it. But the Scythe is still more powerful than the other weapons in terms of alt firing, even though it does not stun Skrakes from body shots anymore. But yeah, the other thing that is worth mentioning is that the Scythe rages flashbang on 1 hit. So it's not a good alternative towards the axe. That the axe is much more valuable trying to kite flashbangs around the map. Die, you son of a bitch. Well, that's good enough for the Scythe. So in another opinion, I don't think it's a side grade, because it offers a powerful alternative to every other weapon, so it's not a side grade. Now let's try the Buzzsaw Ball. From the update, you can see that the price on each single round is 80 squid, so it is quite expensive to refill it, but I do have to say that the Zerg is known for not spending much money, so you might end up with enough money on after each round to refill your bow, so it's not that big of a problem. The other thing is that the bow has the little particularity, if you can say that, of making your saws come back. So it's like a boomerang in a sort of way, because you can try to kill someone from afar, and if you shoot it correctly, you're not gonna have to spend another 80 squid trying to buy another blade. So that, in comparison to the crossbow, which you have to go and pick up the bolts for yourself, is quite an upgrade, in my opinion. Well, also it's the obvious fact that the Zerg shouldn't have a ranged weapon, but I think that's been debated quite a bit in the forums, TWY forums or the Steam forums, so I'm not gonna rage too much about it. So let's try the bow against some Scrakes here. And I do want you guys to notice what happens now. Even though you do have to shoot like in an arc or something like that. I fail. Well, he got hit, and look at the stun time. He's being stunned for quite a long time. And he comes back to normal. So there you go, another hit. I can wait. I can go try to pick up the bows, the blades, and he comes back, and I just send again, and it's just time to kill him. So it's not difficult to try to kill the Scrake with the bow, and the munitions you just spent aren't gonna be that lost if you can pick them up, if you shoot in some kind of way that you can pick up the blades later. So that is say that's quite an advantage over the actual role of the Zerg of trying to get close up and kill a Scrake from melee range. So yeah, let's try something else. Let's see how many headshots you need to kill him. So that's one headshot, and that's two. You only need 2 shots to kill him. I can pick up the blades easy, and it's quite easy and painless. So yeah, that is like if you had a crossbow, a boomerang crossbow for the Zerg. What? So yeah, it's quite a different type of weapon that changes gameplay for a single perk. Now let's try how many shots you need to kill a flashpound. I've already tried to kill a flashpound while in the lane, but I do suck at this particular weapon, so I've died too many times, so I'm just gonna try it here. So that's 1 shot, 2 shots, 3 shots, and 4 shots. So you can see that it takes just as much killing a flashpound using the buzzsaw bow than using the crossbow. So you like, in single words, you have a crossbow for the Zerg. And the last thing I want to show is the crowd control features that this weapon has is quite awesome. Let's see, I do have like a big amount of clots in front of me, so I take out my buzzsaw bow and I start shooting. Let's see how many I kill. 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 7 again, and 3. Screw that. So that's around 7 clots per shot. Let's try again. Also, if you guys noticed, I didn't really try to aim towards any part of the clots. I just like randomly shot them from any place. So from the torso you can see it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 clots again. Let's try more. Let's see if I can get more kills. 5. Nope. Another 5. I have seen at most around 10 kills using the bow. So it is, say, a crossbow in every single way, in every single meaning of the term. No. In every single way that the crossbow acts for the sharpshooter. Now let me show you the crossbow in comparison, or the sharp. If I take a crossbow here, you guys already know that you only need 2 shots to kill a Scrake and 4 for a flashbang, but there is a big difference between one and the other, and that is that if I headshot this Scrake, look at the stun time, he just looks around and he comes raging at me. Oh, no. Now that's a surprise. I was pretty certain that one shot, that he would not be as stunned as much time. But you guys did notice that I do have to shoot his head in order to kill him, in order to stun him. So that's one shot and he looks around. But what if I shoot his body? Body. I'm trying to say butt or something like that. Of course nothing's gonna happen, so I have to kill him. So the boss saw does have an advantage over the regular crossbow. Let's see. No, you know what? Oh crap. I don't even know why I just spawned a flashbang for this video. I mean, I don't think I'm a bad sharp, but I can't really speak and record at the same time. So let's talk about the crowd control features of the crossbow. Because you might take the crossbow, you might choose sharp as your first perk during the first wave because of the crossbow, because it kills clots easier. So let's see how many it kills. Let's first try a body shot. So that's 2 clots, 4 clots, 5 clots, 2 clots, 2 clots, and 2 clots. That's at most 5 clots per shot if shot to the body. Now let's try the head, and here's where the interesting part comes. I noticed it about yesterday, about the amount of clots you can kill with a headshot. That's 6, 3, I forgot the last number, 4, and 2. I could have sworn I killed like 10 with one shot on another day, like testing it. Let's try the gore fast. The gore fast do have like a bigger, they're bigger, so it's easier to land like a chain headshot on everyone. So let's see. That's 6, 1, 3, 1, and 3. I might not jump to that conclusion that the crossbow doesn't kill as much Zeds with one shot than the boss bow, that the boss saw bow, but there is a big difference in the fact that you have to shoot the head to kill as many as you want, instead of just like aiming around randomly with the ball trying to kill everyone. So in another conclusion, the ball isn't really another side grade. So that about does it. I don't know if you guys want to, if I forgot something about any weapon, or if you guys have any commentaries or suggestions or rants or xenophobic remarks about my accent or something like that. But I don't really mind. I want to see what you guys think about the video. If you guys liked it, please let me know. And see you soon. Let's see. I might make another video later, so goodbye.